Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Roadhouse, and I want to talk to you about some of the things I see when patients come in that gives us clues that the patient could be autoimmune. Autoimmune is attack of the immune system on different parts of your body. The mechanism is the same as if you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, pernicious anemia, which is autoimmune that affects the stomach's ability to handle B12. There's Sjogren's, they say it differently. There's a whole host of autoimmune problems. So when a patient comes in, the clue that I get right away is they've been to so many different doctors and they have more symptoms than most patients have. They might have an autoimmune thyroid problem, they might have rheumatoid arthritis, they might have diabetes, that can all be autoimmune. But what happens is that, let's say you've been diagnosed with a thyroid problem and you take the medicine and nothing's working. Now all of a sudden you start getting other symptoms and you go to all these different doctors and they've done all the tests and they can't figure out what's going on with you. When a patient comes into my office, they've been to several different doctors. Not only do they have the main symptoms for what they're coming in, when we do the history, it's a very detailed history, and the paperwork that you fill out, we're going to ask a lot of questions because we're trying to find things that other doctors have missed. The other clue that comes in is that they might have had several surgeries, might have had their gallbladder out, they might have had their a knee surgery, just things keep going wrong and no one's been able to figure it out. So they bring in their medical records and they've had all these MRIs and CTs and EMGs and blood work, and they've been to all these different doctors, had all these tests, and still no one can find out what's going on with them. When a patient comes in and they bring a stack of their medical records and they're that thick, that's a clue to me that they're going to be autoimmune. Another thing that happens is, let's say they start having heart palpitations and they've gone to the doctor and they've checked them out, they've done an EKG, maybe even put a Holter monitor on them, and their heart rate goes up and then it goes back down again, tachycardia, bradycardia. They have all these weird symptoms that no one can explain, so you know what they do? They give you antidepressant drugs. They're hoping to calm you down, maybe sedate you, maybe make it so that you don't feel as bad. When you have all these things going on, when you've been to all these different doctors, all these tests, you have tons of lab records, you've been to these doctors, they can't figure it out, chances are you're autoimmune. We need to do the testing on you. We use the best labs in the world, cutting edge labs. These labs we're using now weren't even available last year, and they're better than the labs we're using last year. So it does give us valuable resources to figure out exactly what your problem is. So if you have all these symptoms, you've been to a doctor and you're frustrated because no one can figure it out for you, I might be the doctor that can do it. We have to evaluate you. There's certain markers, certain parameters that we have to find. If we don't find them, we don't accept your case. So what do you got to lose? The reason I do a no-charge free exam and consultation is you've been to so many other doctors. And so you're thinking, how is this guy any different? Trust me, I am different. I look at things differently. I do lab tests that most doctors don't even know about. And that's how we're finding out what's wrong with these patients and being able to help them. But if I charge for it, my normal charge, depending on how involved it is, could be $195 all the way to $495. So that could be a huge obstacle for you, especially if you've been to 20 doctors. You've got nothing to lose. Take the first step. Call my office at 918-481-2770. Make an appointment. Make the second step to getting you better and get into the office and let's evaluate you. Thank you.